Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. We're starting the week off strong. We've got everything from Tarkir spoilers coming out, new decks being made, and card spikes. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification down below. Also, links in the description of ways to support the channel, eBay, TCG Player, Patreon, YouTube members, all that good jazz is down there. So don't forget to support the channel. I do appreciate it. So with all that said and done, let's get started on what's happening in Magic this week. So over the weekend, we had this announcement. Dragonstorm spoilers will start Monday for Tarkir. So Wizards will start previewing Tarkir Dragonstorm cards one day earlier than expected. Originally it was Tuesday. Monday spoiler is only one single card, but let's be fair, still sounds sweet. So this card will be previewed via the Tarkir Dragonstorm story. It's hard to know what card will be spoiled to the world. That said, it's a good chance it will be a Planeswalker since this will be the conclusion of the Tarkir Dragonstorm story. So lots of speculation on this. There has been speculation of everybody from Ugin and Nicol Bolas to maybe even Elspeth. We're talking about Nicol Bolas probably being in the set, however, not being a Planeswalker as he's lost his spark, and kind of setting him up probably for the big bad down the road again. And, I mean, that's fine, I guess. I kind of hate having this whole Marvel comic style of the bad guy always comes back. Can we just, I don't know, can we just kill him once and then, like, maybe he can have a kid or something? And I don't know. It seems like we're really beating this Nicol Bolas thing with a dead horse. Anyway, like a dead horse, not with a dead horse. That'd be fucking insane. Anyway, so there we have it. So stay tuned for Monday night. I will preview the card along with a few other things from the story. See how it concludes and what the story is really about. And from the sounds of it, this seems to be, or I think it will be, one hell of a ride for this set. Now, with that being said, there's this little guy from Dragonstorm I think we should talk about. This is Taval, the Balanced Scale. He is one of the commander decks, or he's in one of the commander decks. Sidisi colors, blue, green, black, and 1 for 4/4 flyer. Whenever he attacks, you mill 3 cards. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Already sweet. Also, whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, i.e. putting a land into play, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. So the interesting part here, that is Sarkhan, isn't it? Wow. Okay, I think that's Sarkhan. I would like to think my boy Sarkhan's better than that, not Nealon. Anyway, the thing here is this last part right here where it says 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. And believe me, I had the same thoughts when, Captain, what the hell does that mean and why should I care about zombie druids? So not so much zombies, as we know zombies are a great archetype, and this will obviously feed that. But it's honestly the druid part that's causing a amazing card spike for commander cards. And what card is that? Well, that card is this little fella, the Glint Leaf Archdruid. So you can see here, this thing went from about $1 all the way up to now moderately played, or $14. It also has a printing in the list, which is also this much. Actually, it's more than this because they're mint. But anyway, why is this card important? Well, first off, it's 2 green and 3, so 5 mana for a 3/3. Not so hot. However, whenever you play a druid spell, you may draw a card. Now, that's kind of cool. However, not a lot of druids floating around. We all know that, which is why this card wasn't very popular, why it was $1 to begin with. However, tap 7 untapped druids you control, gain control of all lands target player controls. Let me take you back to Taval, who makes druid zombie tokens. I.e., If you put this guy into play, notice there's no triggered abilities. So, best case scenario, someone counterspells this. Worst case scenario, you spend 5 mana when you already have 6 druid zombies in play. You lay this, and then tap this and 6 other druids and take all your opponent's lands. And that's kind of funny. I ain't gonna lie. So not only is this a good card because it's played a little bit in a druid-themed deck, which doesn't see a whole lot of play, but the ability for it to slot in with Taval and kind of mesh those two decks together, or maybe just run the Taval deck depending on what all's in it, because we haven't seen what's in those decks yet. Oh, excuse me. Thunder outside. Wow. There's a storm a-brewing. Dragon Storm. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Anyway, so this guy is through the roof. And I don't see this going down anytime soon. Lots of reasons for that. It was in the list. The reason it was in the list is, well, simply this is a Morningtide card. And as you guys know, Morningtide, well, it was printed, but because everybody thought it sucked and no one bought it, they didn't make a lot of it. And also, nobody bought it because they thought it sucked. So there's not a lot of these floating around out there. So the price of this card is going to be pretty good. Now, I think this also means that if this card stays popular, we will probably see a Secret Lair reprint very, very soon. Because, you know, once a card hits about $15-20, that's straight on the Wizards' radar of, hey, we need to reprint this to make money. But, point being, this is still sweet. It's already been reprinted once in the list, so it's not like it'd be a big, I don't know what you call, letdown if it actually happened. But this card is pretty cool now that I know it exists, because, let's be fair, there's so much stuff out there, you never know what you're going to find. And this will be pretty wild for all you Taval decks out there. Shout out to Sawyer, my patron, who's already bought the Sidisi deck off me, you sneaky bastard. And I'm pretty sure this is probably why he did it. And if not, good call, dude. Good call. So, you have that. Other things going on. We have this sweet new Gruul deck combo. That's right, it's a Gruul deck with a Planeswalker and a vehicle. Who would have thunk? Well, probably anybody who's been, you know, playing Aether Drift, because it's pretty much all damn vehicles. Anyhow, so these two things are just absurd. On turn 3, this is mana ramp, making sure you have 4 for Chandra. You know, green and 2, it's a star 4. So the star is equal to the lands you have. So it'd be a 4/4 when it comes in for 3. Not too shabby. When it enters, well, 3/3 when it enters, 3/4 when it enters, but when it enters or attacks, you can search your land for a basic land card, put on a battlefield tap, so it becomes a 4/4. Then the problem is trying to crew this thing that crews for 4. Not an easy task. However, Chandra says at the beginning of combat in your turn, choose up to 1 target vehicle. That you control until end of turn. It becomes an artifact creature and gains haste. So it doesn't matter which order you play these in. This bad boy is swinging same turn or next turn, getting another land out, making him a 5/4, and just thinning your deck out, which is just amazing. Plus, Chandra does things like, oh, I don't know, sacrifice an artifact or discard a card to draw a card for +2. For 0, make a 3/2 colorless vehicle token with crew 1. That's not so hot. But -7, get an emblem. Whenever an artifact you control enters, this emblem deals 3 damage to anything. So, lay an artifact, bolt something. And for 0, you can every turn bolt something. Not mentioning anything else you might lay in the meantime, like this lumbering world wagon. Or as I like to call it, if you get the full art one, the party wagon, because that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a party on wheels. Anyway. So this new deck is pretty interesting. If you want the list, I will show it to you. It has been 5-0ing a few tournaments, so pretty interesting. It's got all the sweetness. It's got your 4 Land of War Elves, 4 Sentinel the Nameless City, because, you know, who doesn't want a 3-mana 3/4 that makes map tokens and all kinds of other shenanigans that are hard to fucking kill. Bristlebud Farmer's amazing. Tender Wildglade. This is your 2-mana dork. Also. Obstinate Baloth, 2 in the main to prevent all those, we'll call them discard decks that have been popping up. We have the Party Wagon, 4 torches, 4 Paw Patch Formation, 4 Burst Lightning, lots of removal, 4 Spark Hunters, 2 Nissa Ascendant Animist. That's kind of interesting. And then just a plethora of sweet lands. This is probably also one of the reasons why we had a lot of Karplusan Forest sales. We talked about earlier this weekend and last week of Karplusan Forest getting kind of pricey because it's basically a dual land. So anyway, and there's a sideboard in here. I didn't get the chance to clip it all. Sorry, my screen's only so big, for the love of God. But yeah, more Baloth, Lithomantic Barrage to kill anything that's white. The Might, Meat, and Weak Stone, Reclamation Sage is always good. Ghost Vacuum, more good. So, this is the basic rundown, and it's been pretty much wrecking house. Because even if you don't activate the Party Wagon, I'm sorry, I can't say World Wagon, it's the Party Wagon, you're still getting land out of it, so you can get all this other cool stuff going. Like, Big Fat Baloths and Bristlebud Farmers and Sentinels of the City and God knows what else going on. So, yeah, pretty interesting. And it'd be kind of weird to see how this plays against the Beanstalk decks. So, yeah. Now, with all that said, thanks a lot for watching. I do appreciate it. Until next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. Knew the Party Wagon would be good. I knew it. Of course, it always takes a chick to get on the Party Wagon and make it worthwhile. Ba-dum-bum.